Stephen Moore, former White House economic advisor, joining us now for more on that. So, Steve, crude oil soared above $100 a barrel. They're warning us about pain at the pump. How much pain are we talking about? Where do prices go from here?
Well, these gas prices have really been bouncing around quite a bit. And you're right. Today, the oil price hit over $100 a barrel. I haven't checked in the last hour or two whether it slipped below 100, but that's a high price for oil. And to put that in context that consumers can understand, that's the equivalent of somewhere between $4 and $5 a gallon at the gas pump. It depends on what state you live in and how much tax you pay. So that's a big increase. I mean, when Trump left office, we were paying about $2.59 a gallon. So these are very substantial increases in gas prices. You're also going to see, by the way, unfortunately, you're going to see increases in the cost of home heating for the rest of this winter. My wife and I just got our home heating bill last month. It was $600. We were used to paying about $300. So these energy costs are certainly pinching people's wallets.
And when energy costs rise, so does the price of everything else. We're talking about more than just gas stations. We're maybe talking about food and other things, right?
You better believe it. So you're right. Energy is the master resource. It's embedded in everything else that we use, whether it's food or manufactured goods or the construction or the cloud technologies. All of them use a lot of energy. And so when you look at the 40% increase in energy price over the last year, that's one of the things that's really driving this general inflation and everything else. And so the grocery bills are going up, et cetera. Now, the big question is, here is the big problem, I think, right now for the policymakers in Washington. There's been a lot of talk over the last few months of the Fed raising interest rates to bring inflation down. But now we're getting, seeing the effects on the stock market of this invasion of Ukraine. It's unsettled everything. And the question is whether the Fed will now want to raise interest rates with an economy that's fragile at best. And I don't know. I wouldn't want to be on the Federal Reserve Board right now because there's no easy choices.
Well, this was a crazy development today. The stunning reversal for the stock market. It actually ended up higher after being down nearly 1,000 points on the Dow. What are investors supposed to make of this?
Yeah, I'm still scratching my head over that one. I mean, my wife called me at noon and said, we lost tens of thousands of dollars today. And then by the end of the day, we'd earned it all back in the market. I've never seen anything quite like it. I don't have a great explanation for why the market turned around so dramatically. But I would say this, that the market, to some extent, had already priced in this invasion. I mean, it wasn't a huge surprise that Russia finally pulled the trigger and moved in. And so we are still, I hate to say this, we're still in a bearish market. I mean, the Dow is still, a few thousand points below where it peaked out a couple months ago.
Oh, that was just the surprise of the day, I think. Russia
it stays in the green. I mean, the NASDAQ finished in the green. The S&P 500 finished in the green. I didn't see whether did the Dow finish in the green as well? I know it was close to regaining all the money that had been lost, but that was a welcome sign. But I got to tell people, I mean, I think it's going to be a rocky next few weeks until we get some resolution of what's going on there in Ukraine.
Yeah, nothing like volatility on the stock market to give us unexpected results every day. Russia's the world's 11th largest economy, right? What are the long-term implications, the long-term fallout for the world economy?
Well, listen, I mean, you're right. They're the 11th largest economy, but they're, in terms of like the financial markets, they're not a huge player. In fact, they only account for about 2 or 3% of world finance, the exchange of dollars and currencies. The reason that Russia really matters from the economic standpoint is that roughly 40% of their economy is oil and gas development. And my frustration with the Biden administration is I don't understand right now why we're not producing as much oil and gas as we can, because if we're looking at ways of retaliating against Russia, and I thought the president gave a pretty good speech today saying we're going to impose sanctions, and I agree with that, except, the best way, in my opinion, to hurt Russia is to produce more of this energy here at home. So we don't, we went from a situation where we were exporting oil and gas a year and a half ago to now we're actually importing it. And that only plays into the hands of Putin and Russia. So let's build the pipelines. Let's get going with the oil and gas drilling. That'll create a lot of jobs, and it'll reduce our trade imbalances. So I just hope that the president reverses some of those positions he's taken over the last year in terms of reducing oil and gas development here.
Of course, it's not just about us. It's also about our EU allies who depend on Russia for natural gas.
Well, so this is another key point that you're making. So our allies in Europe share a lot of the blame for what's going on with this world economy right now. We had been warning, I worked for Trump. We had been warning Europe not to become dependent on Russia for their energy, but that's exactly what they did, and that's one of the reasons I think Russia was emboldened to move into Ukraine, because what could countries like Germany and France and Italy and Spain do when they were getting all their energy from Russia? So they were sort of held hostage. It's another reason why wouldn't it be a better thing if we produce the energy here, we have built the LNG terminals, and we were able to export it to Europe rather than being reliant on Vladimir Putin, because we've seen that he is a tyrant, and we don't want to put money in his pockets.
All right, we have to run, but thank you so much for joining us, Stephen Moore. Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.